Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is so dead. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. Big man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead that can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the front. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Good night and welcome to Memoirs of the Most Corrupt Leader. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Sorry about our absent last night, but welcome one and all. We are here this evening. I'm going to question one bit of the manifesto this evening. I'm not really in the business of promoting the People's National Party manifesto. My job is to, when they get into government, is to hold them to account. My job as it stands in this cycle is to continue to tear the Prime Minister down. Governor General, good evening. You look like the Axa or the dull machete blood poisoning, so you're turned Tantan fool now. Anyway, to my community of party and all family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Welcome one and all, Debbie Jarvis TV, real sweet. Good evening, Sunshine Norman Ferguson. Good evening, Lawrence Michael. Good evening, good evening. Who else is here? Sharon Bernard, good evening, Ladybug. Rennie Nicholson, JP. Marcia Thomas. Good evening, Barbara Simpson, good evening. Colleen, Novette Blake. Good evening. Jeanette Nisbet, Sophia Hall, Carlene Richards. Good evening, Joan Pine. Good evening, how are you? The humble one, Marlene Williams. Good evening. Kate M. Judy Roberts. Good evening. Good evening. Robert Brown. Good evening. Ringo. Good evening. Colleen James. Good evening. Yes. Jeanette Brissett. Opal Watson. Blessed Child. Good evening. Reginald Brown. Good evening, everybody. TikTok, good evening and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Debian Duncan, Sweet Pea, Instant Nanny, Marjorie Henderson. So not Henderson, Hayden rather. Paula, Horace, Joy, Tom, Lady Liz. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Let me update you on my appointment. Campbell, Keith Matthews, good evening. Well, I had my 2 appointments on both days. The urologists who I first saw on Wednesday, they are quite happy with before I had the appointment, a couple days before that, all the stitches has fallen out. Sonia Barracks, good evening. All of my stitches has fallen out. Some of the wound, they have a little bit of bulge that will go down over time, but the team is quite impressed with my recovery. So that's it with them for the immediate. As to the oncology, because before the operation, I refused to have the biopsy because I didn't want to disturb the tumor before the removal. So they didn't actually get to do the lab testing that they want to do on it until after they remove it. And it turned out to be what they predicted it to be. But they managed to remove all of it. I will be having a CT scan in a year's time, and they will be monitoring me over a 5 years period. And if it doesn't resurface, touch wood, it will not, then they will discharge me from the clinic. But all will be fine. I am confident that all will be fine. And as I said, I continue to be in good health, both physically and mentally. So that's the main important bit for me. And Isabel Rose, good evening, sis. Good evening, welcome. That's the main important bit for me, is continue with my health regime and just keep in a positive mindset. But thank you all, globalists and everyone, for their support, my globalists, my family members, my community. Thank you all for your support. Even though, honestly, it was a bit, because it was a 2-month period from diagnosis to operation. The diagnosis was, the doctor and I had the conversation over the phone on the 22nd of May. I went in and they gave me the official diagnosis after the cancer team did their inspection. And then I had the surgery on the 21st of July. So it was just that 2-month blip, and I did not feel sick physically, as you are aware. And because of as I tell you, my brother's experience, it's been caught at an early stage. I was never stressed at all. So that, I think, helped me out a lot as well. Unique Ray, good evening, Estina Tyne. How are you all doing? Yes, we're back with the Prime Minister this evening. On Tuesday, we did Memoirs of a Corrupt Government. This evening, Dr. Jackson, we're doing Memoirs of a Corrupt Leader. Some people would be of the view that the bright spot, oh, it's very hot. It's very hot still in the United Kingdom. We're having a heat wave here, so pardon the noise of my fan if you can hear it, because it's still very hot. Some people may be of the view that the bright, spanking, shiny Andrew Holness. No, Renice Nicholson. May I show him the different changes on him? Him lucky me never even get to put under one year. When Andrew Holness was Andrew Holness before he started stealing. That was Andrew Holness before he started stealing. So, me just show her the different changes with thiefness, corruption, and stress due to Andrew Holness, because it is a stressful thing to continue to lie and steal at the same time, and lie about it and try to defend it. So it is and this is why you see politicians get so old so quickly, or get so gray so quickly, because them are cut your throat and them stand up in front of you. I tell you, say, no, it's not your throat that I am cutting. So may I show you the difference of the worst amongst us. Some people may be of the view that the bright, spanking, shining, young Andrew Holness, the youngest prime minister we've ever elected, some people might be of the view that Andrew Holness has changed. Because some people would be of the view that when he came, he was, as we would say in Jamaica, he was somebody. I don't take that view. I've always been saying Andrew Holness has always been like this. It's only because we never watch Andrew Holness carefully. Andrew Holness was a great opposition leader. That's why he couldn't target and bring down Portia government in the way he did. He was a great opposition leader. He could have made noise and he could have blown the trumpet, and him could have do the necessary, but it was all pretending. But we weren't what Andrew Holness is doing now. It's nothing strange. It's been going on forever. Because of his wanton corruption, we're taking more closer look at Andrew Holness. But there's nothing. And if you ask Tufton, who say Andrew afraid of bright people, you would know nothing change about Andrew. Why do you think Andrew loves to use the word bad mind so much? It is what Andrew has become, bad mind. Don't really want to use the word like them, but the only reason why Andrew, every time him stand up in front of a mic, him can go on about people bad mind. It is what Andrew Holness is made up of and has become. This 2 minutes and 3 seconds, I heard 2 words out of it. And when I get to the 2 words, I'll tell you.
Every person wants to build a home for themselves and their family. I come from England, and we have a saying, an Englishman's home is his castle. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I don't know what the big to-do is about. The casting of aspersions and innuendos. It's typical of the PNP. It's the PNP mentality. It is a crab in the barrel mentality. Again, it's the poor mentality. We can't all be rich, so we all should be poor. It is the socialist mentality. It is the grudgeful and bad mind mentality. That's what it is. It is, and the people, I tell you the honest truth about this thing. People who are criticizing me for building a house don't know that I literally build. And I've been building now for 4 years. I think what it shows is a capacity to do things and do them well. To think big and build big. I hate people talking.
I don't want to hear anything that comes after that or anything before that. I hate people. That's the only thing I heard of all the blab and splatter of the Prime Minister in this 2 minutes. The only thing I heard is that this Prime Minister does not like people. You remember, it's the same Prime Minister who tell you, I love the poor, but I hate poverty. He loves the poor, but he hates poverty. Now, this is the same Prime Minister who loves the poor, but hate poverty for himself, that does not love to uplift poor people out of poverty. Christine, how are you? Because if this Prime Minister, Beverly, if this Prime Minister had an interest to lift poor people out of poverty, Andrew Holness wouldn't have stolen so much of the public purse. I make it say then, him steal a bit. Andrew Holness wouldn't have continued to enrich himself to the point where the infrastructures of the country are left unattended to, because this Prime Minister for 9 years has only focused on the enrichment of himself. This Prime Minister has run a government marked by scandal and corruption. Big of them all, though, is the Prime Minister's continuous, no end in sight debacle of his lack of integrity, money laundering, corruption, financial crimes, Prime Minister. These are all the things that bedevils you going into a general election. So I don't have time to promote the PNP manifesto. Dr. Campbell and the 63, or Mr. Golden and the 62 will have to do that. My job is to remind you that this government is not suitable to lead. This government is not suitable for another term in government. This Andrew Holness, who has led a campaign of corruption and fraud against the people of Jamaica. This government, this Andrew Holness, has 2 failed manifestos. Lots of shell companies, though. Lots of bank accounts. Billions, millions unaccounted for. Billions amassed in wealth, unexplained, Prime Minister. Because if $500 million alone, people just walk up a cash pint so and put money in your account to the tune of $500 million, Prime Minister, and we don't know, and you can't tell where the money they for or where they come from, and you are not doing money laundering. Make somebody from the ghetto picnic do it. If it wouldn't wet dot, Prime Minister. Bad mind. You love to use the word bad mind. Bad mind. You are the Prime Minister. You are the Prime Minister who is responsible for the majority of the COVID deaths in our country. If the PNP is bad mind, Prime Minister, you set up the nation the other evening. Last week, Sunday evening, you tried to set the nation up for a civil unrest, for a bloodbath, Prime Minister, albeit a leader in Mount Golden who leads in the interest of the people, Prime Minister, called off his meeting to avert whatever you have planned. That was great leadership, wasn't it? As opposed to you, Andrew Holness, who opened the country 2020, killing many Jamaicans, opened the country to have a general election because of political expedience, surging the virus, killing many Jamaicans, Prime Minister. Then you, the same Andrew Holness, turn around to blame those same poor people. Said them we go corner shop go buy big jar of oil, pound and a half of rice, quarter stick of butter, half quarter of bread, and all that. Those were the people who spiked the virus. Not only that, you were the Prime Minister who put some of the worst rules, COVID rules, on us. The No Movement Day and all of those. You were the Prime Minister who, while you locked down us Jamaicans at home, you have cruise ship people come in and now do them thing and a walk about. While cruise ship tourists can come off a cruise ship, Jamaican cruise ship workers couldn't come off a cruise ship. That's what you did to us in COVID, Prime Minister. You and your Holness, who collected billions from around the world. You and your Holness was the very same person that enriched yourself during the whole COVID scenario. And all of those money that you collected to furlough the Jamaican people. You and Christopher Tufton and your cronies pocket all of it. You know, so the big trouble you're in with your statutory declaration from them time there onwards, Andrew Holness. Big problem. But your stealing, Prime Minister, goes way beyond that. Your track record, Prime Ministers from Siaga bring you in. You've been stealing constituency money for years. You, Prime Minister Holness, has been stealing constituency money for years. And when Bruce Golding, 2007, Bruce Golding win? When Bruce Golding made you the education minister, Prime Minister, you stepped it up a gear. That is where the education budget start wreck. When you, Andrew Holness, got there and start to swindle the Department of Education money, start to give your friends and yourself contracts and kickbacks out of Department of Education. The same lady there, what the woman name? Mother Foster Allen, who did it from Portia time, help you, Andrew Holness, to swindle a lot of money from Education Department. She was your permanent secretary. She, Andrew Holness, was your permanent secretary. From you being at Department of Education, you've been stripping the country's budget. But when you get the high seat, it became worse. When you got in government in 2016, you let all of your cronies loose in a Department of Education. Grace McLean, what did Dr. Broadbed name? Dr. Broadback, Marlon Morgan, Royal Reed and Kim and Fitzpinnock and the whole of them. These are the people, Andrew, where you let loose in a Department of Education. The question is, Prime Minister, how much kickbacks have you earned out of those heists between Grace McLean, Marlon Morgan, and Royal Reed? Because one thing you now go do is having them there stealing for themselves, and you now get a benefit out of it. It is the reason why these cases, Prime Minister, have died and can't go nowhere. Because the stealing going on in government have an octopus tentacle. And Prime Minister, if we explore it, all of them will lead back to something tied up around your hands and around your feet. But look at you personally, Prime Minister. Look at you personally. Not just look at the people around you. Look at you personally, leader of the flock, gang leader, Prime Minister. Most Jamaicans, except for labor rights, are of the view that we've never seen anything thief and corrupt like you before. All of what is happening says it all. All of what is happening with your statutory declaration says it all. Look upon you something that will come out. The affidavit. There's a lot you're trying to hide, you know. There's a lot you don't want us to know. And this is the whole reason for planting Dennis Strong. Because if somebody independent is that fed and go figure try through Prime Minister, you'd been a lot of shit. So you have to put somebody there to make sure you do a cleanup. Like you have favor and a cleanup run around government, everywhere them go and thief. Then you send favor will go do a cleanup. It's a very embarrassing thing, Prime Minister, for you to be going into an election with such cloud over you. The most embarrassing thing, Prime Minister, is to see you in the court with the anti-corruption body. Not only that you are fighting them, you're trying to destroy them. You're trying to destroy them. And that is what makes you dangerous. Labor rights won't understand that because their head is somewhere where I'm not going to go. These are the things that make you dangerous because you don't want to be held to account for nothing. You must just be left alone to commit these crimes against the nation. While you say wanna tell PNP say them have a poor mentality. But when you, Prime Minister, steal so much without building opportunity for the same PNP, them where you say have a poor mentality, how you work that out? 20 years of stealing. 20 whole years of stealing, Prime Minister. Look at what is going on around you at the moment. After the tabling of your statutory declaration, your investigation report on the 17th of September last year, you should have been dignified enough to step aside as the leader. That is what shows, Prime Minister, that there's no leadership quality in you or you lack integrity to say that the nation deserves better leadership. And since I'm under this cloud, and you know you're not going to get out of it, Prime Minister, thank you very much, Kathy. You're just not going to get out of the cloud that you're under because the fact that you cannot say where you get all of these millions from, especially Prime Minister, that money were put into your bank account via the cash machine, but we don't know who put in there. We don't know what it put in there for, Prime Minister, that you don't need a glass, you don't need a torch to know that is money laundering. Prime Minister, that's almost $500 million. Almost $500 million. You don't need any glasses to know that that is money laundering. You have companies left, right, and center. Who are your staff? Barring the one where Tika say you have in your constituency. The rest of shell company, them, Prime Minister. Who are your staff? And who are you paying a salary to? During the Independent Festival the other day, they get the Grand Gala the other day. Did you give any contract to yourself in the whole setting up of the environment? Because we know say you have one company. What the company they call Beat and Teacher one when you give out contract to himself for all of these stage setting up, lighting, setting up and music, and then which one I company did that something there? Mm? But a lot of these setting up what you say I do when them have these events. Andrew Holness is the same, a positive media. Positive media is the one who's getting getting all these contract, a lot of these contract for set up and do when them do them galang in. So Andrew Holness is still giving contract to himself, even when Andrew Holness don't want to be held to account. Andrew Holness moved to put his wife. Andrew, listen. Andrew Holness never want to get rid of Dalrymple, you know. It was a con. What Andrew Holt, that little move of Dalrymple was to hand over the legislature to his wife. And we saw, since Dalrymple leave there, we see where Juliet Holness turn Parliament into. It has become their personal dolly house, where many of the rules in Parliament, Juliet Holness changed it up. They got rid of Valerie, and then she and Colleen turned the whole thing in a dolly house in a Parliament. So it wasn't about when he removed Dalrymple for that little bit of time. It wasn't about accountability. It was about making way for paying back Juliet for something, or paying Juliet giving Juliet power for something to keep silent. Don't know what it is, but it wasn't about punishment for Dalrymple, because what you did, you kept the vacancy for what, over about a year for Dalrymple, until you make she say one come back in a by-election. So it wasn't anything meaningful. It was all a con to turn the country into a Holness dynasty. And we've seen what Juliet Holness do to Parliament from she take over control. Likewise, we've seen from you take over control of government and the country, everything just go downhill. The country money, Andrew Holness, you have allowed your friends and your cronies to squander the country money, all because you decide, say, you have to thief your way to success. You couldn't hold anybody to account. Nigel Clark and Dunn, you still don't give the public a worthwhile response about it. You still haven't given the country a worthwhile response about it. Look at yourself. You cannot explain so much of your wealth. And the funny thing is, when you still are talking a crowd that the Prime Minister have clean hands. The Prime Minister have clean hands. It's not hard to hold them up in the public. Clean hands mean the Prime Minister, Juliet Cockburn-Finn, can account for everything them have. That's what a clean hands mean. But the Prime Minister unable to account for so much. And we don't know if we find all of the Prime Minister's wealth yet. We don't know if we find all of the Prime Minister's wealth, because the Prime Minister used him sister, him son, him friend. The Prime Minister used various people to hide his wealth. That was the reason why Andrew go on a mission to destroy and control government because he know exactly what he was going to do. So the less people with less responsibility or less to say is the more he gets away with. Look at even the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Andrew has a whole rafter under that, that all of those different limb or all of those different branch of the tree called economic growth and job creation. Andrew's swindling money out of all of these different branches. Now look at the ministries that falls under economic growth and job creation. Remember, economic growth and job creation is a ministry itself. Don't know what they have done. The Prime Minister keep blabbering and splattering, don't know what they have done. But under the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, you have the Ministry of Housing, where Andrew Holness is taking billions out of NHT a year. Violet, how are you? Cuz to cuz. Billions a year. Andrew now build affordable housing. What Andrew build is high-end housing for upper echelons friend or for overseas tycoons come buy them out. He's not building affordable housing. Andrew Holness used 650 million of your NHT contributors' money to privately enrich his friends at Dexim. That Andrew Holness turn around with Dexim and try to silence the nation from knowing the sweetheart deal with them cut. The nation didn't get a sun green out of the house that they should have got under that deal. And all the nation got back after Andrew settled a court case was 20 million. While Dexim used 650 million of your taxpayer money and enrich themselves, build luxury flat where they must sell back, the price where they must sell back one for is more than the 20 million where them give way back on the 650 million of your NHT contribution. What Prime Minister Andrew Holness, thank you, Kathy. What Prime Minister Andrew Holness take up and give him friend to enrich themselves. And you know there's a continuous bleeding of the National Housing Trust money. You have Ministry of Water. Ministry of Water. Whatever money Andrew have been allocating to that ministry is going right back into Andrew's pocket. Because you and I know across the country that water irrigation and distribution has never been worse under any government than it has become under this Andrew Holness. Has never become worse than we have seen it now under Andrew Holness. When Andrew Holness is the minister for water, likewise, he's the minister for housing. So you say, Housing no work, water no work. He's also the Minister of Roads, Minister for the National Work Agency, the Ministry of the National Works Agency. Andrew Holness is also the minister. That same Andrew Holness was forced by Darrell Vaz to declare the roadway something that Andrew Holness holds the portfolio for. And between Andrew Holness, Everard Warmington, who had the position before he was fired, and Nestor Morgan, the roadway has fallen into disrepair to the point where them own have to force them to declare it a national emergency. This Prime Minister pledged for 40 billion for Spark. Then there was another 3.5 billion for Spare, for Reach rather. And then there was another added 2 billion of Spare to do the emergency patching. So of that 45+ billion, how much of your roads across your constituencies have been repaired or fixed? And we just talk about since burial. Because remember, all of the big road program that the government have both span are since burial. They're meant to roll out, because Spark rolled out in December, wasn't it? All know the country, nobody across the country can give us an update about Reach or Spark. Nobody. But we've heard so much billions allocated to those work. Billions. In my community, the intelligence that I got from on the ground, only 4 potholes fly green patched. 4 potholes. And when you listen to a lot of the TikTok videos going around the country, Eugene Brown, how are you? They're fixing labor rights pothole, but them are left the PNP pothole unfixed. But this government is still asking for a 3rd term. And they're planning to sabotage the people in the middle of an election campaign. You wonder if this government is really thinking. Let's take a break, and then we're going to ask Mark Gold. We're taking a break from Andrew. We're not taking a literal break. Put Andrew aside. We'll come back to him. Before the Governor General, I want to ask Mark Golden and his team a question in regards to their manifesto. And that's to do with the social justice aspect of things. And that's to do with constitutional reform, Mr. Golden. In your speech and document, it said that with the reform of our constitution, the people will have a say. The people will have a president whom they choose. My question, Mr. Golden, is that to say with your constitutional reform, we will have an executive president? That is what I really want to find out. Will we have an executive president. Because if we don't have an executive president, we might as well use the flag as the head of state, as the symbol of the head of state. Because to pay something, another something, like Patrick Allen, is a total waste of time and waste of public money. The billions we put into this, God, I don't know what to describe it as. The billions we put into Patrick Allen, who him or his secretary cannot simply look at a calendar when they're putting out a public document to see if their dates and day is linked up together. That's why I'm convinced that the Governor General have to be a Labourite, because it's either when Andrew advised him to dissolve Parliament, Andrew was sleeping, or the Governor General was sleeping. Of course, people do make mistake. But when you put out a public document and you see there's a mistake, you must withdraw it. You must correct it. You must apologize to the public about it. You can't just keep putting out these badly spelled, matching the wrong day with the wrong date. Governor General, I wonder if the AXA or the dull machine with Dr. Bruce used for your blood poisoning, so you don't know the difference of Wednesday and Thursday. Why is it that the Labour Party is embarrassing themselves so much? Why is it that the Jamaica Labour Party is embarrassing themselves? So if Mark Golding and his team could break down for us and tell us, with your constitutional reform, will we be able to vote for a president? Will it be an executive president? We don't want a hybrid like our Marlene I tell you about. We want an executive president who we the people vote for and choose. A lot of the breakaway from the Westminster system, they create executive presidents. We don't need to pay somebody to cut ribbon and shake hands. Andrew Holness has done a lot of that. A lot of the cut ribbon and shake hand with Andrew Holness are do. Those are what we pay the Governor General for. So we really don't need an executive, a ceremonial president to go around and go cut ribbon. If we the people are going to spend so much money on a do the fetish, they must be doing something. The Governor General does nothing. That's why he don't know the difference of the 3rd and the 4th on Wednesday and Thursday. And that's why there was nobody there to proofread the document before it was put out. Just like the Prime Minister's pamphlet. Nobody was there to read it before they publish it. But the Jamaica King's House Ladybug, it's an office. King's House is an office. He has staff there, he has secretary there, he has all sorts there. So putting out a public document, you mean to say nobody from the government never double check it either? Andrew Holness, nobody from the government double check the document put out from King's House? When you advise the when you advise the governor general prime minister, because the governor general can't get up and do nothing without you advise him. When you advise him, which day did you tell him? Wednesday or Thursday? These are the reasons why we could take more interest in our politics. So all of us can have a say in it. You see, the walk away from with politics is what allow Andrew Holness to become a dictator in our country. Because Andrew said the voting, the participation is going down cycle by cycle. So him know say them can control less people, by buying votes. We have to become a part of democracy, my people, by getting involved. We cannot wait until government become a world corruption power before we wake up and start to do something. And just started off badly. If you look at him when he was in a position, the attack on Christopher Tufton and Arthur Williams, if you listen to a lot of Andrew Holness's cronies now that protects him in the stealing, a lot of them were highly against this prime minister during the leadership campaign between him and Audley Shaw. Nobody thinks he was qualified, credible, or have the tenacity to lead the country. None of them thought that. Dr. Tufton was the one who thought he wasn't bright enough. And because he wasn't bright enough, he's intimidated by bright people. I would believe there's some truth to that. If you look at the people who Andrew Holness take up going to parliament with him, it is why Andrew Holness has failed on 2 manifesto. Because God knows him one couldn't do it. Him one couldn't fulfill the manifesto. And what he chose around him was a plethora of brain dead politicians. Now look at Darrell Vaz. Darrell Vaz, a cabinet minister with multiple departments. That is to show you that Andrew Holness had no intention of delivering anything he promised to the country. Because when you give something as science and technology and telecommunications, rather, science, telecommunications, transport, you gave those things to Darrell Vaz. Can you be confused of why things are the way they are? Tufton, which is your greatest enemy, look at how, just to save your political skin, Prime Minister, you have to keep Tufton there to continue to murder Jamaicans. Because if you put Tufton on the backbench, he can automatically become a rival to you and pull you down. So because of that, because of maintaining your finger-fearing behavior, your illicit enrichment of yourself, you're willing to turn a blind eye to all of those around you who are stealing in order for you carry on your treachery against the public purse. Look at your son, Prime Minister. Look at your son. Your son have clean hands, or is his hands dirty as yours? How your son gets so much wealth in Jamaica, Prime Minister, when never work a day? Or is it that your son is holding stolen wealth? The people's stolen wealth, Prime Minister, is held by your son. How is it that your son, Prime Minister, have multi-million-dollar development in our country, a schoolboy that has never worked a day? Work that out for you know. I used to have clean hands, you know. I used to you work hard and honest. Tell us how your son got his wealth. Hmm? Or is it that your son is looking after the stolen wealth that you have stolen from the people? Memoirs of a corrupt leader. This same leader is asking for another chance to do what? You have failed unto manifesto. Let's leave the first 4 year out of it. Let's focus on your last 5 year. What have you done? The basic services that you are meant to provide, Prime Minister. Those are the areas which you stole from the most. Housing. Not only that you stole NHT contributors, Prime Minister, you went on to use the housing program to steal poor people's land. Those who government, Prime Minister, should be providing land for in your so-called new social housing, what's it or other. Those people who you ought to be and should be providing government land for is those same people you sought out who have a little piece of land or access to a little piece of land, and you bill upon it and tell them it's the property of the government. You can't do anything to it. You can't pass it on. And then the thing you do, you have to phone with. Oops, sorry. You have to phone when you get permission. Education, Prime Minister. You have set a plethora of people loose on the Department of Education budget. Prime Minister, water. Water. All these money that you've been pledging to water. All these money that you've been paying to Mark Barnett for just sit on a yard, sit on Palm Beach, doing nothing. While the National Water Commission, Prime Minister, the only thing they do in our country is collect water rate. That's all. If anybody know of anything else what Water Commission do, barring collect money for water where you don't get, let us know. Let us know. Because we don't see anything else what the National Water Commission do. Our country, Prime Minister, under this current Labour government, has become a black tank society. Prime Minister, we grew up in Jamaica where we had clean water. We couldn't drink standpipe water and it never used to pain our belly, Prime Minister. We don't have water in a pipeline if we don't have black tanks. This is your ministry, Andrew Holness. This is your ministry. The people water Andrew Holness. Were you and what you call the little boy there? Little boy. What his name? Matthew Samuda. You and Matthew Samuda detour the people water to no friends them will have big hotel and lied about it and want to penalize journalists who speak out against a crime against the people. This Matthew Samuda, who is responsible for water, remember when Matthew Samuda comes back to you for the X, remember the hope of shit in the water. Remember then say we don't need to boil the shit. Remember then tell lie about the desalinated water and the reverse osmosis or whatever. And it was all a lie until Amber Joy exposed them. The Prime Minister Matthew Samuda called IRFM to have her lose her job. Minister of Water. Minister of Road, Andrew Holness. You have destructed the road maintenance fund. You have not done anything on our roads. Where are the money, Prime Minister? Where is the spark money? Where is the reach money? What have you done with the road maintenance fund, Prime Minister? If I wonder why Andrew Holness grabbed onto so much ministry for himself. That's why Andrew Holness became so rich. Because Andrew Holness was stealing from many ministries. And Andrew Holness have his minions in different ministries stealing and giving him kickbacks. That's why the Prime Minister can be so quiet to all of these people around him stealing out of the public purse. And nothing. Nothing. And because we talk about it, we're bad mind. It's from 2015, Andrew. You depend this bad mind argument, and we still attack. We bad mind. That's the only thing do we since 2016, you know. You can't come say we thief. You can't come say we lie. You can't come say we corrupt. You can't come say we don't have integrity. You can't come say we in a money laundering, Prime Minister. You can't say we turn Parliament in a go-go club. From 2015, you use the one word bad mind. Do you have anything else to say? Because that no means that we're going to shut up. That no means that we're going to see a thief the people, the public money and turn a blind eye. Want to wait until Grace McLean, till time has passed for not to Grace McLean. Royal Reid went to the Privy Council to block his case. And the Privy Council said he must stand trial. Ke fucking tep pala Llewellyn. You woman. Me case and go on Jankros. Me case and go on. Fly by there. Fly by there, Paula Llewellyn. Me case and go on. 21st, me case. Even though the 23rd, I come before the 21st. September is the month of rejoicing. Turn Donald Trump. September should be Jamaica Independent Month. We get rid of Paula Llewellyn and Andrew in the same month. Isn't that something to celebrate Jamaica? We, the people of Jamaica, we are getting rid of Paula Llewellyn and Andrew Holness all in 1 month. One don't think we shouldn't have a street party. Don't you all think we should have a street party that we're going to get rid of the demon, 2 demons in a this name take 2 stone, kill 1 bird. Take 2 stone, and kill one bud. We'll get back to Andrew. Participatory democracy. Are we really participating? Do we respect the fight that our ancestors put up just for the right to vote? The suffragettes, Paul Bogle, Sam Sharp, and all those people who fought for the right to vote. When we do not exercise that right, we're trampling on their shed blood. It is time for more of us to get involved in the political process. If we're going to hold government to account, and government ought to take us serious, whichever side of the political divide they're from, we have to be involved in the process. There are many ways we can be involved in the process besides voting. Voting is one way, but there are many other ways which we can be involved in the process. Now, when it comes to what is called lobby groups, lobby group is a powerful thing in politics. It is what control politics and policy and the financing of politics. Lobby groups. You heard of the APEC group in the United States, or the Jewish lobby group in the United Kingdom. They control the politics of Europe and America because of how powerful they come together with their finances and their policy interests. Now, in our country, the only lobby group I could point to is the PSOJ. And us continuously leaving it all up to the PSOJ is not going to help us. That's why when policies are being created, they're created to benefit the business sector rather than social intervention that would benefit you, the people. It is time, Jamaica, that we, the people, come together and form powerful lobby groups. We can form it amongst ourselves. Jamaicans have many professionals who are always, especially under this government, that previous government, have a problem with policies directed to them as well as their pay review and all of that. Having a lobby group is a powerful way of getting government attention, is a powerful way of getting government to act within your interests. Our problem is vote selling and food collecting. Vote selling and food collecting. That is what our problem is. And that's not a way to continue our politics. It is one of the reasons why our politics is becoming more and more corrupt. Too little of us, too little of us is involved in the process. Yes, our politicians are corrupt. We have been in the plethora of corruption on both sides for as long as we know them. But the more we walk away from participating, is the more corrupt our leaders become. Because if you notice, under the two last election, 2015 and 2020, the participation has gone down. And Andrew Holness, within that time, has become also corrupt. Because Andrew Holness realized out of the slim majority of 40%, many people buy them votes, so them don't hold them anything. And the very few away Well, if we not pay attention, them can either fool we or sidestep us. And this is why we have to become involved. Lobby groups are powerful in getting policies that benefit you. Now, say we have a lobby group in Jamaica of all our major professionals, like or doctors or nurses or teachers, those people who work for the state. If we have a powerful lobby group of these people, when it comes to these particular time, these are the ways you make powerful representation as to your pay package, your pension, and all of that, or any social justice arm of things that you want to advocate for, whether it be our education, whether it be our health care, or whatever we want to make sure we advocate for policy in that area, and not just advocate for the policy, but make sure it is been done, it has been put in place. If we continue dropping off the wagon and stay away from politics, all that will happen, my people. We are going to lose more. More of our tax money will go into their pockets, and we are going to get less services. We have to be the watchdog. We cannot keep saying, we're the people, we're the government, and then you just sit down and nothing. If we're the government, then that means we have to be the chief executive of the company. We have to watch over what is going on. We have to hold them to account. We have to bring them into office and find out what areas they are failing and what areas them need improvement on. We cannot continue to look away and expect politicians to just have a change of heart when them a thief on day one and stop thief and start do good. It's not going to work like that. We have to make them change. We also have to snap out of the die-hard culture, the labor safe seat culture, the PNP safe seat culture. It must be about performance. If a politician does not perform, they shouldn't be given a second term. This is how lobby groups become powerful and become watchdog over our system. In this political cycle, if you have a lobby group now, and we can sit down with our MP or leader and we say, these are what we want to see done within the 5 years we're going to give you. They shouldn't be able to come back to you at the end of the 5 year and promise you the same thing all over again, which is what Andrew Holness keeps doing. The same thing he promised in 2015, he promised in 2020, and then no doubt he's coming back with the same thing again, because there's nobody to hold them to account for what they're not doing. If a politician does not perform, they shouldn't be given a second term. Otherwise, we the people don't want anything. It cannot be that it's a Labour safe seat, or it cannot be that it's a PNP safe seat. Become like Southwest St. Elizabeth. Let us all become swing seat. In that, politicians will stop buying our votes. Politicians would start working when we give them that 4 or 5 years, because they know that they're not sitting down in a safe seat. They're not sitting down somewhere where they can do fuck all and then get rewarded for it. I tell you all the while, we are our greatest danger. we are paying for the crimes that our politician commits against us. We allow them to get away with it. Look at Everett Warmington. He's been there forever. The roads in his constituency are disastrous. For years, he was the minister of he was the non-portfolio minister of the National Works Agency. These people have swindled off the public purse and have not done anything. But because we don't hold them to account, that's why they can come up in our face and behave in the way they do and talk to the way they do. After election, look totally away from us and then only turn up 3 months before the next election, and we still treat them like kings and queens. Now look at Miss Wholeness with the 20-year-old, with the 5-year-old chicken them. 5-year-old chicken. And people are going to vote for her because of that. People are going to accept her lies. We cannot continue to be our worst enemy, Jamaica. We have to be the change that we want to see. I find it very crazy that we, Florence Denny, first time seeing you on the platform, I find it very crazy that we, the people, continue want to see change, but we keep voting the same people them over and over. How does it make sense? We want change, but we're still giving the same criminals power. This is the first election we're going to have where information is just popping right, left, right, and center. We've never had an election before in our Jamaica cycle which information is so free flowing, which everybody can have their narrative on politician or the politics. Let us see this time if our people are still in a docile mindset, or we will use the information available to us when we're ready to make the X. Whether you want to vote for a change or you want to collect the 5-year chicken, the 5-year-old chicken, and vote for it, or you want to vote for Delroy Chuck, who are only on TV, people see him, and now that at election time, him turn up and look vote from the people. Or like Marlene Malla, who vote, who turn up with drum, who turn up with water tanker, and I walk and ask people if them drum full up. I mean, when we continue to do these things, these people just walk away and laugh at us because they've abandoned us for 4.5 years. And then they come for the other 6 months looking to be rewarded. And then, good evening, Donette. First time seeing you on the platform, Donette Wainwright. Mavis, how you do? And then we fall over them and we praise them for doing nothing. One of the things we need to get out of as people as well, we need to stop lying for failed politicians on both sides of the fence. Stop lying for failed politicians. Them don't know what them don't do what them say them are going to call them out, push them out at the next general election. It's about time we stop giving these politicians multiple chances to fail. We have given Andrew Holness and his team 2 chances to fail. Do you want to give him another chance to fail more? Participation matters, my people. Participation matters. People die for the rights to vote. Sam Sharp and Paul Bogle and those people die for the right to vote. The suffragettes in the United Kingdom were abused for the right to vote because only rich white men with property were given the rights to vote. The rest of us have to fight tooth and nail to get the right to vote. That's why it's a sacred thing. That's why the right to vote is a sacred thing. Your ancestors died for it. That's why in any country, me vote, even if I'm to spoil my ballot, just like I did in the last general election in the United Kingdom, I mark none right across it, none not worthy. None is worthy. That's what I write across. Even to protest with your ballot, you must participate. Because when it is about corruption, we all participate when government is being corrupt and it get too corrupt like we see Andrew Holness is doing now. We all participate in the criticism, in the calling them out. So why not? Because if all of us participate more, we'll get a more balanced electorate. We'll get an electorate that will pay attention to the people because a vast sway of the people is participating. One of the other things that we're going to hold you to account for, Mr. Golden, is the revamping of our education system and the bringing back of civic in education. But I would even go further, Mr. Golden, on a proper teaching of history in our education system, because we've lacked that badly. It is the reason why politicians can use we in the way they do, because we've been starved of our history. It is the reason why we keep making the same political mistake over and over and over and over, because we have been starved of history. So that's one of the other things we're going to hold the People's National Party for, is revamping our curriculum. Since slavery, we have not done a massive overhaul on our curriculum. That's why we still teach about Elizabeth, Charles, Henry, and all of those murderers, and not teach about our history and how we got to where we got and what we must do to get out of what we are into. So that is one of the things we're going to hold the People's National Party account for when they come into power. In England, you have done it. Some workplace is every 3 months, every 3 or 6 months, you have an appraisal. Every 3 or 6 months. Remember, Andrew did promise job description and appraisal and all of them. So nothing that Andrew promised came. And this is why I'm saying to the Jamaica people, participate. Don't participate tribally. Participate on a social level. Participate because of your children's future. It's time we stop voting to enrich our favorite politician or our favorite party. At the time when the Prime Minister boasts around the world and the country that our economy has been in the best position it has ever been since 1962, we cannot pay our teachers and junior doctors and nurses and police officers. We have no money to fix the road because they're in an emergency collapse. Many bridges across the country have collapsed or in disrepair. That is under the Andrew Holness Ministry of the National Works Agency. And when the country is in the best position economically, we can't have those things remedied. The only thing they do with the country's money that is in the best economy ever is buying a drill for $32 million, which we could have got 6 out of, or buying 110 old buses for $1.4 billion, which we could possibly get 170 coaster buses brand new out of. Do you want to choose these same people to continue for another 5 years? Don't you want water to drink? Don't you want water to bathe? Don't you want to stop buying water from politician water truck? Don't you want to stop dropping to the massive potholes and craters and mashing up your vehicle? Aren't you tired of putting on one shoes to walk from your yard, go yasso, and then you have to put on one next one when you're reaching at the town center because to say the state of your road, you can't walk on it with your shoes where you want to walk in the city because people are going to say a bush. No, say a bush. A bush or country bush, the one they come from, look on foot and his shoes dirty. I don't nasty, we nasty. It's the state of the road given to us. It's the state of the road where Andrew broke down round way. Jamaica, vote for your children. For the 9 years, Andrew Holness has done well by his sons. You have given Andrew Holness 9 years. He has done well by his sons. One of his sons is living in the United Kingdom here, studying, living in a well-plush apartment bought by the Prime Minister. When are you, the people of Jamaica, going to vote for your children? When is it that your children will become a priority when you step into the polling booth, and not the politicians' children who go to university abroad, who get their dental treatment abroad, who get their education abroad, who have regular holiday abroad and your expense, have a diplomatic visa, some of them. When are you going to choose your children, Jamaica? For the last 80 odd years, we have been choosing the children of politicians. When is it that the people of Jamaica, when is it that the electorate of Jamaica is going to choose their children? Or by extension, the young people of Jamaica, rather than politicians' children who school abroad, who some of them live abroad, have their medical and dental treatment abroad, go abroad regular for holiday. They basically don't interact with us. When are you, the people of Jamaica, going to vote for your children so that your children can have a good education like what they sought abroad? So your children could have good health care and good dental care that politicians' children sought abroad. let us be the change that we want to see Jamaica. It is psychotic to expect that our politicians will change, especially those who we have in government at the moment. When a politician can come to tell you that I have ordered chicken from 2020 and them only come now because there was a huge mix-up with the money. You know, if that's a serious lie, since 2020 to now, if you have assisted people in your constituency with livestock farming, Miss Wholeness, do you know the turnover a lot of these people could have made within the 5 years when the chicken them was bobbing, weaving, nodding, and heaving? I don't know if them are going, them are come. Even though they finally reached, no, because of election. What a sensible chicken, Miss Wholeness. We are not turning up until election. We are not turning up until election because they will have better use for us in election. We cannot continue to be led by our belly. We cannot, Jamaica, continue to be led by our belly. One thing we hold Andrew Holness to account, wait till Mark Golden come in, because Mark Golden have some brilliant policy, you know, that will alleviate a lot of the problems we're going through. So that's why we're going to have to stand up on Mark Golden head to make sure Mark Golden implement them. We're not going to coerce or protect another leader to promise us and then promise us and still not do nothing and still hoping to come back and promise us again. Over time now. Me don't know no PNP politician and no Labour politician when I go in politics and come out rich. Barma Golden, we having richness before I go there. Me don't know none of them. The whole of them get rich overnight. The whole of them get constituency development fund a year time. What have you all done with the money? When you get burial fund, what you do with the money? Ask anybody who have problem in a Southwest St. Elizabeth financially, how much help them could I get from Flight Green? And right now, Flight Green is driving around every shop and just buy liquor so. Sometimes when I think about them things, I want to hold me hear them and just pop them out. Because rice and alcohol, we still have vote for rice and alcohol. And then we have the nerve. It really pisses me off when Jamaican people sometimes complain about corruption. And we make corruption thrive, you know. You see the selling of our votes, the buying of justice or injustice in our country. We make the thing corrupt, Jamaica people. We politicians and we police them cannot be corrupt if we not engage in it with them. If we're not engaging the corruption with our security services and our politicians, them couldn't become so corrupt on their own. We have assisted them in becoming this corrupt. We have nurtured their corruption. We have protected their corruption. If you listen to all sensible people like what you would call like Dennis Chung, Emily Shields, and all of that. These people are still coercing and protecting Andrew Holness in his crime against the people. Well, go on, JC. These people are still coercing and protecting Andrew Holness in his crime against the people. Look at the vlog across the road. Look at the vlog around corner. These people claim that they are social media. These people claim that they are the top educated in our society. But look at how they frown over the most corrupt leader we've ever had. Andrew Holness did a big law breaking last Sunday, and I don't hear none of the media come out and criticize the Prime Minister. None of the media come out and tell the Prime Minister you're not above the law. None of them. It's like nobody saw what the Prime Minister did. Nobody saw what the Prime Minister did as rule breaking. Nobody. Nobody from the journalistic society, none of them call out the Prime Minister, criticize the Prime Minister, criticize the JCF, who is an accomplice, because the Jamaica Constabulary Force could have prevented the Prime Minister from carrying out his halfway tree debacle. But because all of them think Andrew Holness is above the law, that's why everybody, Cliff Hughes, Emily, and the whole of them, they think the Integrity Commission is targeting Andrew. That's why they are not writing stories on Andrew. That's why they are not investigating Andrew in the way that Zara Burton does. Exactly. Look how petty Emily Shields is. When Mark Golden got Grand Gala one night, all Emily problem was there was no green in Mark Golden's shirt. Emily, no sister, the Prime Minister have 28 bank account. The Prime Minister have multiple shell companies. The Prime Minister have him friend them just a walk past cash point and a drop money in an account, so to the tune of $500 million. That money could be from money laundering, drug dealing, corruption, stealing. You tell us, Andrew Holness, you say you have clean hands. You say you work hard. So the money them were the youth, were the drug dealer, or the scammer Prime Minister, or the thief, put in your bank account where we don't know who it is because it was put into cash bind. Why don't you explain to the nation for what reason was that money dropped off into your bank account? Emily didn't see that. Emily have not heard of that. Emily on go sit a Mark Golden shirt now have green in it. I don't understand why they call we vlogger and call themselves journalists. I really don't get it. Coming up to the different, the whole of we gossip, the whole of we mind of a business, the whole of we opinionated. Because nothing what Emily Shields or Cliff Hughes is doing is journalism. They're just JLP vloggers, like we would be PNP or independent vloggers. They're just JLP vloggers. But these people will criticize Mark Golden for anything. Mark Golden don't have to do anything for these people to get up and criticize him. When the Prime Minister is under a cloud, we've never seen a cloud in our country this thick. The Prime Minister is going to a general election under that cloud. We can barely see a Prime Minister. The cloud around you is so thick, Prime Minister, we barely can see you. And I hope your constituency doesn't even see you on the ballot when they get to the poll. They just see your opponent. Andrew Holness has run a government of corruption for 9 years. Andrew Holness has run a government with 2 failed manifestos. Andrew Holness has run a government that collapsed healthcare, education, the road infrastructure, irrigation and distribution of water. Andrew Holness has run a government that has increased crime and violence in our country. Is that not what the government that you run? Andrew Holness has run a government that the same young men that Dr. Chang, Babsy Grange, Desmond Montague, and Desmond McKenzie hand out weapons to. Andrew Holness ordered the security services to shoot these same young men down. Am I lying? Jamaica, we can't continue like this. We can't get up every day and criticize politicians, and then still, when the euphoric period of a general election comes around, we forget all of their wickedness. Andrew Holness and his team does not deserve a third term in our country, because they cannot, even with their badly spelt pamphlet, Andrew Holness cannot outline anything to us that he has done. Now, when you're coming to us and you tell us, oh, we fix road, we fix water, motherfucker, we employ you to do that. It's your job description. It is your job description. So don't come here and tell us, because I have fulfilled my job description, I have achieved something. What are your social justice implementation, Andrew Holness? Because you talk about pension now, you talk about disabled people. You have 9 years. 9 whole years. Not one social justice intervention, Prime Minister. Why are you promising it now? Me hear Floyd Green saying how money put aside for farmers and fishers' social pension. Well, why do you think, after failing 2 manifestos in 9 years, you're going to be able to deliver on 1 in 5? You're going to deliver on 1 manifesto in 5 years when you fail 2 in 9 years. If you give Andrew Holness another chance, then you must be prepared to lose your rights. If you give Andrew Holness another chance, you must be prepared for your democracy and your democratic framework to be further destructed. If you give Andrew Holness and his team another chance, you must prepare for a total breakdown of governance in our country. We have seen where it has gone already. We have seen where he has moved the Electoral Commission into his office. He has disrupted the office of the political ombudsman. He has dismantled many other systems of governance. He has dismantled how you have been held to account in Parliament by the opposition or the backbenchers running the committees that hold the government to account. Andrew Holness and Juliet changed all of that. Is that the same direction you want to continue in Jamaica? If you give Andrew Holness another chance, you will possibly get more buses to put your children at risk. If you give Andrew Holness another chance, you're going to enrich more politicians who own their water tank, who own their water truck, and who sell black tanks. If you give Andrew Holness another chance, you're going to have a more deplorable roadway to cause more devastation to your life and your property. If you give Andrew Holness another chance, you're creating havoc and destruction in the agricultural industry, as you have seen what Andrew Holness and Floyd Green has done with it in the last 9 years. If you give Andrew Holness another chance, you're going to allow crime and violence to get out of control in our country. Andrew Holness has 9 years, and in the last 1 year or 6 months, Andrew Holness is on a massaging the figure in order to convince you, the people, that he's investing in crime, he's bringing crime down. All of a sudden, so, Prime Minister, all of a sudden, so, you just become man of the moment. One thing we can say about Andrew Holness, he's the most corrupt we've ever had as a leader. No other government has been mobbed by corruption like this government. No other government has stolen more from the public purse than this government. This government, who cannot account for $3 trillion or more, that can run the country's budget for 2 years. This is the government that is hell-bent on killing your children September morning. This is a government who is hell-bent and rolling out a service that is going to create danger and death for our children. That's what you'll be getting if you vote for Andrew Holness. What you'll be getting is a surveillance dictatorship society where this very Prime Minister told you, I can track you and I can find you. I'm tracking your children and I'm finding them. And I'm realizing that the PNP are paying them to say things on social media. So let me see what the Prime Minister said. That's what you'll be getting if you vote for Andrew Holness. If you want the change, Jamaica, that doesn't lie with Andrew Holness. A change in our country, a change in our politics does not lie in giving Andrew Holness more time. It's time for a change. You cannot continue with a government that is hell-bent and making money out of your death. You cannot be hell-bent on a government that is making money out of your death. A government that sees you of value in death than in life is the type of government that we're dealing with at the moment. A government that we've been told is killing 15,000 of us annually, deliberately, by lack of services. 15,000. We've just had the Minister of Health presenting us 24 dead babies last month, a baby a day. 24 dead babies in 24 days. That's what you'll be voting for. Be the change that we want, Jamaica. Let this be a historic election. Let this be an election where, as a people, we wake up. Let this be an election where we feel our ancestors' blood running through our veins, struggling for the rights that we are trampling on today, the rights that we are selling, the rights, Jamaica, that we have given up to politicians because of tribalism. Those rights are not something that were given as privilege. It was a battle. People died. People died for the rights to vote. You could only vote if you were a rich white man with property. That's it. Those were the people who have the right to participate in what they call democracy. Don't just sell it. Use it to uplift yourself, your country, your society, and your children. Use it to better your country and your future. Selling it is about a belly full until you sleep and wake up. Mark Golding and his team presented us on Tuesday night progressive policies that can take our country forward. But if we're not participating meaningful, Jamaica, in our politics, politicians will just come and do their thing. Wake up, Jamaica, wake up. Nobody's coming to save us. I don't know why it's taking you all so long to realize that. There is absolutely nobody coming to save us. We can do it at the polls this time. We can send a signal at the polls this time that we are not for sale anymore. Our interest is not about enriching, keeping politicians in power to enrich themselves. It's our time now, Jamaica. Can you say that in your head when you go to the polls? It's our time now. Because so far, you see, of the last 80 odd years or so, or say for the last 60 odd years or so, we've been participating in this thing. What have we achieved? What have we, the people, achieved? Look at your communities. Look at your constituencies. Look at the state of your country. What have we, the people, achieved? I'm of the view that we have gone backwards socially, infrastructure-wise, service-wise. We have gone backwards. We're in bus turnover in the US yesterday, and it was a new bus. The only reason why I'm not too worried about our children's safety and this thing at the moment is because I know the People's National Party is going to win the election, and they're not going to put these things on the road. And if you have children going to school, when you go to the poll, vote for their safety. Because if you all bring back Andrew Holness and Darrell Vance, we're going to have a lot of dead children. We are going to have a lot of dead children. We have several accidents where turn out bad for with school children then. But when you create a deliberate trap, this is like entrapment, Jamaica. This is like entrapment for death. This bus service is entrapment for death. But because I'm confident that the People's National Party will form the next government, they won't be going on our roads come September morning. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Whether you want to vote for Labour or you want to vote for PNP Jamaica, go out and vote. My job is to tell you, go out and vote because it matters. Yes, the politicians them corrupt. Yes, me understand the argument where we not see what we have vote for because the road them stay same way. We still not have water. We still not have light. But if you're going to sell your vote, if you're going to vote for the politician because your mother and grandmother vote for the politician, we still are going to remain in the same position. Be the change that we want, Jamaica. We cannot continue at this level of corruption. It's above what we can tolerate. It's above what we are used to. Wake up, as Christine Gilbert says, wake up and stand up for something, Jamaica. Wake up and stand up for something. Doesn't it bother you that your politician children doesn't go to school in Jamaica? Doesn't it bother you that your politicians' children don't go to hospital in Jamaica? Don't you want the same thing for your children? Or even if your children don't have the opportunity to go abroad for medicine or for education, don't you want them to have the best education and better access to health care at home? We're going to continue to pull Andrew Holness down every day all the way to the polls because it is what Andrew Holness has done to our country. Look at what Andrew Holness did to our country. It's been pulled down. It has been pulled down. We're not proud enough. We can't, as a leader, we can't go out there go talk about you. Fair enough, labor rights feel like they want to draw themselves in the mess that you are. But if you're an independent Jamaican, we really can't talk about you in a public because it's a shameful thing. And in closing, I want to advise Mark Golden on something. And this connects Mark Golden to your Let's Talk program. Your Let's Talk sit down that you had the other night with the disabled community. And this is because we're only starting to complain about it now, but this has been a long-standing problem. And we're going to ask the People's National Party, as a government that listens to us, as a government that communicates with the people, we're going to ask you to correct that. And this is to do with the Jamaican High Commission in the United Kingdom. It's not disabled friendly, Mr. Golden. We need another building, or we need new adoption. We need another building. The little office where them catch up people in a when you go apply for passport or such like or such a forth don't fit for purpose. It's not disabled friendly or pushchair friendly for mothers who are have them baby with them going to the High Commission. If you're a wheelchair user, you cannot have you don't have access down there. Now, being in a Jamaica with their disability implementation in a country like England that have to adhere to the equality law, but what makes it a difference? That territory, when we get there, we're not in the United Kingdom, we're in Jamaica, so we cannot impose the UK disability law on the Jamaica High Commission. And this is where they're getting away with it. We can, because there, we're not in the United Kingdom. When we step on that soil of the Jamaica High Commission, we're not in the United Kingdom, we're in Jamaica. So we can't impose the UK disability rules upon them, because if it was that, they couldn't have it operating there for so long, where people with pushchair don't have access to the birth paper and passport office where they have round at the back there, so, and you have to go downstairs, then go up some step for getting it. So we're asking you, Mr. Golden, to make sure that us in the United Kingdom who have a disability, who needs to access the passport and immigration section of the Jamaican High Commission, we have full disability accessibility, Mr. Golden, because we just do not have it at the moment. It's a very cramped space as well, Mr. Golden. Run at the office there, if we're going to look after passport, the birth certificate or whatever, run there so can hold more than about 9, maximum 12. I doubt if it can hold a dozen people, but I would say maximum 9. Debbie J, please put up Wayne WhatsApp number for me, please. Oh, let me pin it. Which one is the, yeah, that's my WhatsApp. So Jamaica have disability line. It's just that wholeness. Jamaica have disability law where the Portia Simpson team enacted, but wholeness was meant to what you call the word, promulgate it, mean it is widely been made known, and all the, I think there was a 4-year promulgation period. Then after that, all the necessary adoption, especially of public building and government building, them have to have proper accessibility for disabled people and all of that. But it's just that this government anti-wholeness regime never really do anything more of it. And if you remember one incident we have in, I think, 2023, where that young girl had a space at Merle Grove High, and because she was a wheelchair user, they didn't want to give her the space, and it was after Partner John make up some nice favor, and them did some adaptation to retrofit into the school to make sure she keep her space. So we're asking Mark Golden and his team to look into the access to the Jamaican High Commission in the United Kingdom, because people who go there with children with pushchair or people who go there who have a disability cannot get access. So that is something that we hope Mr. Golden and his team can look into. I want to thank you all very much for being here tonight. Make we see if we find the murderer song for them, because it's what they literally are, murderers. Not only Darrell Vaz, who actually is it, but all of them, all of Andrew Holness and his 48 cronies, they're all corrupt crooks and politicians that the country need to reside to the dustbin. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight on Global TV. Join us back here tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program, when we will continue to look at the most corrupt government and the most corrupt leader we've ever had in our political cycle. Thank you, and good night from Global TV.
Justice! 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 I am calling on the Prime Minister of Jamaica,
O'Neill Gale, Wagwan.
Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness. Please find the murderer of the late Member of Parliament, Dr. Linville Bloomfield. Justice for Doc. Justice. Power. Say power. Power. Selector, drop a tune. Say power.
I see them lying there worried.
Say power.
Standing on the gate.
Say power.
But yeah, I want my
Say justice. Say justice. Justice. Justice.
Gun is on your shoulder.
Justice.
Today you cannot kill
Justice. Justice.
I must say hello.
Justice. 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 Justice.
Kill me today, you cannot kill me tomorrow.
Justice.
I must say hello.
He's out. He's out. The Prime Minister said him can't find any bad man. I am calling on the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness. Please find the murderer of the late Member of Parliament, Dr. Linville Bloomfield. Justice for Doc. Justice. 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 Are you say so? Now himself can't find anybody. So we are asking, he is the only sitting Member of Parliament that has been murdered in Jamaica. We need to find the murderer. So that's why we have in East Portland a human rights champion. They said they can't spy by everybody. And the MP from West Portland said nothing and a secret. But after from 2019, Dr. Bloomfield was murdered. His last political speech was made right there, so. You see which part I signed him out, no entry. I right there, so I make him last political speech. I march with him, Comrade Wayne Mackenzie, Comrade Dexter Rowland. We march from Fair Hill for the road from Harborview, where she had danced on about a fair road. Dancing Queen, it is not your road.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.